Hispanic Heritage Month celebrates a number of different cultures. Students at Alpha Cindy Avidia High School in East San Jose, California, were starting a new school year. 5 students walked into a classroom. They had gathered to talk about Hispanic Heritage Month, which starts September 15th. Do you know what Hispanic Heritage Month is? The students were asked. No, they said. Michelle Ortega is a sophomore. She said that Hispanic Heritage Month sounded like a celebration for the children of parents from Latin America. In other words, she felt it was not for her. Michelle considers herself Mexican American. Hispanic Heritage Month is a national effort to honor Hispanic Americans. It is to recognize their contributions to the United States. What is Hispanic culture? Hispanics themselves don't have an exact definition because they are similar in some ways but different in many other ways. Hispanics come from over 24 Spanish-speaking countries. There is no single history of Hispanics coming to the United States. Each story is different. To the students at the school, Hispanic Heritage Month did not seem to celebrate all of their cultures. Celebrating the many different traditions of all the Spanish-speaking countries can be difficult. Day of the Dead is an example. It is celebrated in several Latin American countries, but the way each celebrates it is different. Zulema Ponce is from El Salvador. There, she says, Day of the Dead is not celebrated like it is in Mexico. It is a more somber event. There are not colorful skull-decorated festivities as there are in Mexico. The day is celebrated with a simple cemetery visit to leave roses. The students share a common feeling. One study found that 7 out of every 10 Hispanics in the U.S. believe their cultures are different. Only some believe Hispanics share a common culture. Mexico has the majority. During Hispanic Heritage Month, much of the focus is on Mexican history and culture. The United States has a history with its southern neighbor that goes back more than 200 years. The latest U.S. Census, a population count, says most of the Hispanic population in the United States is Mexican. People of Mexican origin make up well over half of the Hispanic population. About 1/10 of Hispanics are Puerto Rican, and smaller fractions are Salvadoran and Cuban. The terms Hispanic and Latino can be confusing. Hispanic refers to Spanish-speaking people from Spain and most of the communities in South America, except for a few. Brazil is home to 207 million people who speak Portuguese, not Spanish. Latino refers to people from countries in Latin America, including Brazil, who live in the United States. It does not include all Spanish speakers, such as people from Spain. Both of the terms were created for the U.S. Census. In 1976, a law was passed that created Hispanic and Latino to make it easier for the census to collect information. Students can't relate to terms. 10th grader Abraham Espina believes the two terms are an easy way to include people from Latin America or who speak Spanish. However, he doesn't identify as either. He explained, "Referring to me as a Latino can be anyone. I can be called Latino even though I'm Mexican." None of the students called themselves Latino or Hispanic. The Spanish language is the one thing Hispanics have in common, although different regions speak differently. Cesar Lopez talks about his experience while making his journey to the U.S. The Honduran had to drop his native accent and adopt Mexican terms to blend in while in Mexico. In the U.S., he is often mistaken for being Mexican. Zulema shares that she, too, is often mistaken for being Mexican. Some people think that all Spanish speakers are from Mexico. More languages than just Spanish. Moreover, there are many languages in Latin America. Mexico alone has many cultures and languages. Abraham, who is from Mexico, pointed out that there are indigenous people who speak Zapotec. Indigenous people lived in Central and South America before the arrival of Spanish conquistadors. Is it right to name these communities with words that were created in the US? I sincerely think they have been there since the beginning, and that is where we trace our roots from, he said. If language and traditions are different among Hispanics and Latinos, does anything unite them? Michelle believes the Latinos in the United States share values that brought them here, such as hard work, education, and better opportunities. Michelle wants to give back to her community by becoming a lawyer. Countries mark their independence. Students who speak English with an accent are sometimes made fun of by other students. Zulema and Cesar says this has happened to them. Cesar wishes other students understood that learning a new language can be difficult. Michelle pointed out that since she came to the US, she has gotten to learn about many different languages and cultures. Hispanic Heritage Month begins on September 15th to mark the independence days of Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. On September 16th, Mexico celebrates its independence. On September 18th, Chile celebrates its independence. On October 12th, Columbus Day is celebrated in the United States. Some countries, including Argentina, Ecuador, El Salvador, Mexico, and Venezuela, celebrate their culture instead of the Italian explorer who began colonization of the region.